again the topic is your public speaking preparation before presentation. Spectacular achievements comes from hours of unspectacular preparation. Now, how to prepare? This is the question. So before any important presentation, we need to prepare at least 1 month in advance. And I divide this 1 month into 4 segments. First week, second week, third week, and the last week or the 4th week. So in the first week, what we are going to do? Number 1 is, of course, writing the speech. And the best part is if you can have a story to tell. Everybody has a story. We make stories. Even this is a story for me, coming up right here at the last moment. I made stories in my oration. On one hand, Toastmaster Ravi was sitting by my side, and on the other hand, Toastmaster Vikas Bajaj was sitting with a bottle, not this plastic bottle. So there was temptation on both sides. I looked at Ravi once and again. And Toastmaster Vikas, should I fall into that temptation? Or should I go to Toastmaster Ravi? Should the wind be more than the wine? I got hold of Ravi. No, Toastmaster Vikas, I can't go there. Toastmaster Ravi, please come to my room. And I took him and practiced. I don't know how many times before him. So, this is a story from where you start. And next comes the organization of speech. And of course, the organization has 3 parts. Number 1 is opening, body, and organized speech with proper transitions. We go forward to remove the jargons from the speech. Now, every time we have a story, we are flooded with ideas. We try to exaggerate, bring in new stories into it, and often the word counts exceeds, sometimes beyond 1,000 words for a 7-minute speech. But best is to keep the word count for a 7-minute speech between 700 to 730 at the maximum. Yes. After the first week, once you have written the draft, comes the second week. The second part of preparation. So what we need, the most important aspect. Before we have ideas to share with you, but you know where it will work for you. And try to work on your strength more than your weakness. If your strength is vocal variety, try to add more on that. If your strength is body language, try to add on to that. Because you have limited time, and at that time, if you start, you need to work more on your strength, because if you work more on your weakness, you will need more time to come out of that. After the second week comes the third week. And in the third week, what we are going to do is practice our speech. Is practice practice. But practice how? Yes, we'll sometimes practice in our cars, in our chambers, even in the washrooms also. At times. Yes?
Yes.
Always it is important to practice as if that is your final session. You are delivering a speech in front of an audience. Every practice session should be a final session. Now, human contact is important in presentation. So what we need to do is to bring out people. Why I took Ravi with me? Why I took Sashwati with me? Why I took Rita with me, Neha with me for practice? Because when you speak, even in front of a small crowd, you have that eye contact with people. The nervousness will come inside you. Yes, I am actually speaking to someone. And my takeaway is that when we are speaking, even in front of a small crowd, we should be looking directly into the eyes. Maybe I am speaking from here to here. I am going a change in the position of my stage. Still, I want to maintain a contact with someone who is sitting in front of me. In that way, there will be a bondage, emotional bonding. Now, after that, we need to correct the stage choreography. We need to do the stage choreography. The stage has 9 parts. Our stage has 9 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 parts of a stage. Now, among the 9 parts of a stage, I want to utilize all the 9 parts. And how can I do that? For that, I need characters in my speech. I need to have a mother. I need to have a father. I need to have a child. Or I need to have a friend. I need to have a teacher. I need to use conversational language. If you go to my speech of 1 in a million, the starting was as if I was a child and the conversation was with my mother. My son, kuchu kuchu, you are my 1 in a million. See, I am using vocal variety of my mother as well as stage choreography. I am putting mother here, I am putting the child here, myself here. Then again I move to someone else. So that way you can use stage choreography. Next is practicing about gestures, emotions, facial expressions. How to do that? We need to go sentence by sentence and look into the emotion. If I am the mother, what should be my emotion? And in that situation, what should be my facial gesture? Sentence by sentence, we need to go to make this facial expression and gestures. Then comes the vocal variety. We need to work on the vocal variety, pacing, pausing. Pausing is equally important in a speech. That's why we need to restrict the speech to as small as possible. Maybe the word count of 700 words to create that effect. Now comes the 4th session, the 4th week, the final week. Yes, we are going to practice more and more. And the ideas will be coming more and more towards us because we'll be speaking to more people. But at the same time, you are the best judge to take which idea will work for you and which is not. And that's why you and your chief mentor is most important. The last is the final day. The day when you are going to present your speech. My most important takeaway, what I did, is to listen to my favorite song early in the morning. It's all in the mind. The speech is in your blood. You know the speech by this time, but it's all mental then. You need to listen to the music or song which you like the most and let it play in your mind for 2 to 3 times, and you will get relaxed. And once you are relaxed, feel confident. Just before the speech, don't keep sitting down. Stand up. Make a little bit of movement. And then as you walk for your presentation, think that as if you need to give something for the audience. The audience have come from so far, and I want to give something to this audience. This is not for me. This is for my audience, which I am speaking here. They have come from miles away to listen to me. And when you feel for your audience, the emotion will come inside, from inside. And as you walk, you shake hands, smile, and start your speech. So it is better to prepare rather than repair. So I open this session for question and answers. Yes.
So when you're in a tough situation where you are restricted by the number of words you have shortage of words, and at the same time you have ideas that you have already filled in your speech, and you have to curtail that because you have to follow the word limit. How do you?
Absolutely wonderful question. Thing is that we should have a message in our speech. That's right. My message, if I take that one, is 1 in a million. This is my message. This is my tagline. This is what I want my audience to remember, and nothing else. I don't want my audience to remember my speech. But if someone comes and look at my face, oh, I forgot his name. He's 1 in a million. I want them to remember just my message. So just think on the message. If this sentence is required to send the signal to the message, or it is something else. If something else, delete. My message is important in my speech and nothing else. If it is not pushing towards that message, not required. It might be having ornamental words. It might be having a triad. It might be having alliterations. Maybe many things. You don't want to remove it. Oh, it's such a beautiful line. Having so beautiful triad. I don't want to. But if it's not sending the message, remove it. Be brutal. Because you don't know. No one knows your speech till you speak. Yes. Any other question? Yeah.
I have 2 questions for you.
Sure.
First one is, you said that you have to have a stage movement.
Yes.
And you said that it has to be divided into 9 parts. So won't it be a very harsh movement or very fast movement? So how did you manage that stage movement?
Absolutely.
And how you covered those 9 parts?
Absolutely.
This is my first question.
Yes. So coming to your first question. Wonderful. Now this is where practice comes. When you practice a speech, maybe 50 times, 60 times, 100 times, it becomes like a flow. From here to here, as you are moving, you don't think you are moving actually. The audience follows you through your eyes. It does not become clumsy because audience feels that this is the place for the speaker's mother. This is the place for him, the central part. Or when he spoke about his friend, he went here. And the friend spoke to him from here. His mother spoke from here, to him from here. And now, maybe I have a niece or someone, and I go back here. And the niece is speaking to me from here. You can take small steps. You don't have to go far. Maybe 1 step here, the niece. Maybe 1 step here, the mother. Maybe 1 step here, the friend. Maybe 1 step here. It's such a smooth. See, just you have to move. And just create that angle. You were speaking. Just there. You are speaking. You don't have to move like here to speak here. No, just a simple movement. Here, you are speaking to him. Here, you are speaking to him. It becomes smooth. Yes, your second question.
And my second question is, what was the song you listened to before going for the grand finale?
Leave that. Everyone has their own song.
Definitely, we want to know.
You want to know?
This is the question.
Great. It's a Bengali song. দেখেছো কি তাকে ওই নীল নদীর ধারে বৃষ্টি পায় পায় তার কি যেন কিনার জলে ভেজা মাঠে আকাশে হাত বাড়ায় like from Subhomita. Yes, this is one of my favorite songs. So any language, any song, you can listen to it. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, sure.
So, you're talking about stage movement and all. So, do we need to, instead of storytelling, do you feel that it should be story showing that helps the audience to move with you?
Absolutely. It has to be story showing, and you have to have a story to show. And that is storytelling. You have to tell as well as show. When you are doing stage choreography, when you are doing body movements, when you are showing gestures, you are actually showing your story to the audience. But at the same time, you are also telling a story. You have to have a story to tell as well as show. A little bit of drama is important because that creates excitement. Now, whole speech should not have drama. Maybe when you are creating some humor, a little bit of drama is also important because that attracts the audience, and it should be as early into your speech as possible. This should be used to hook your audience into your speech. See, the first part of my speech, the mother, that was actually a drama.
Yes.
There I wanted my audience to get hooked to my speech, and then they will flow with the speech. Yes.
I'm sorry, I have another.
Yeah, sure.
So, how do you, is there any sequence of, delivery? Like, first the storytelling, story showing, vocal variety, stage movement, and, can you just, what do you call it?
Yes, everything should be at the same time. What I say is go sentence by sentence. Each sentence should have a stage movement. Each sentence, if it is fixed, then fixed. Even fixed movement is also important. So if this go sentence by sentence. If this sentence needs stage movement, vocal variety, gestures, emotions, bring it out in that sentence. Practice that sentence with that, and then go to the next sentence. It's all sentence by sentence. Each sentence needs importance. Yes.
Yes, I had a question. Like, this question has created confusion in my mind since a long time, and since you have messaged in your speech that you should be practicing more and more, and the number of practices should go very high. Now, when it comes to speech contest, or maybe in Toastmasters, it's a different thing. But when it comes to general life, or when we see people speaking in TED or etc., is it practical to practice so much? If we are giving, say, speeches, like for example, I had to give a speech in St. Anthony's College. So I didn't have that much time that I can practice 50 times to give an impressive speech. So how to come out of this jinx of practicing, which needs a lot of time, and it's more relevant for contests and not for other speeches?
Wonderful question. So what I have done here, have I prepared a speech?
No.
No, I have not prepared a speech. Have I prepared anything? Last moment, just 2 minutes before I came, I wrote down something here. Pointers. Fine? I wrote down pointers here. Still, I have used, if you look carefully, I have used vocal variety, I have used body language. I have used stage movements in my speech. I have told you a story about Ravi and Vikash Bajaj. This is all about practice. Think each speech in your Toastmasters journey as a practice of delivering an exemplary speech at any point of time in your life. And the more you practice, it becomes natural to you. It comes into your blood. It's not that you will be delivering a speech in every contest, everywhere. No. When you start practicing any speech you deliver anywhere, it becomes a part of your blood. You can use vocal variety, you can use story, you can use body language anywhere in the speech. You can use pause like this. Yes, last question. Thank you so much. The red flag is already up.
Fine line of using body language and facial expression. Sometimes the speaker gets as dead as he can get. You just don't want to have any eye contact with him. Sometimes the speaker just over to that you don't want to look at the speaker. What's that the fine line of using that facial expression and that body language?
Yes, that's right. Now the emotions. Suppose it's a sad story. Apart from my speech again of that. Maybe suppose I am in an leave it from my stage, something else. I am in a situation like I am in a hospital and I am facing death. It's a very troubled situation. I'm asking someone, maybe Abhishek, who has come to visit me, Abhishek, can I come out of this trouble? Can I see my wife and two little kids again? This is body language. This is emotion. Can you feel the pain? I can feel the pain. And can you feel the pain with me?
Yes.
Yes. You have to make the audience feel the pain with your facial expression as well as body language. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.